Okay, first thing about scales. Your major scale is going to be the key of the song that you're in. So in this case, we're going to be using G major. We're going to play this major example, or the Ionian mode, which is the first note of the scale, G. So we're going to start on G. We're going to play G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, back to G. Now I always go up past an octave so that I've got 3 full measures of my beat, and then I can come back down to the 1. So I do these ascending, descending, and then I practice them in 3 different speeds. Start at 96 beats a minute, which is what we'll show you first. Then we move to 120 beats a minute, and then I move to 208 beats a minute because that's as high as my metronome will go. And then I move to eighth notes instead of quarter notes. So we're going to take the scale, we're going to break it down. Now the modes are basically a way of telling you how to get to where you want to be, or what box you can play in wherever you are on the neck. So when you learn your modes, you'll know where all your notes go all the way up the neck. So we're going to show you that. So let's start with the G Ionian mode, or the G major scale, and that looks something like this. Okay, now if we move that scale up, we're going to have the next note. So we've taken the first note and we've thrown it on the end, and now what we have is the A Dorian mode, and that looks something like this. Okay, next we're going to take that note, the first note of the A, and throw it at the end. We're going to start on the B note. So we're going to be up here on the 7th fret. We're going to move up to the B Phrygian mode. We're going to move up a half step. We're going to move up to where our second finger was on that scale. Basically, you're taking your second finger every time, and it's something you'll notice when I play. I try to use my first finger as the root, and then if I move anywhere between the first 2 frets, like a half step or a whole step, I use my second finger. And I don't use my third finger unless my next note is only a half step. So if my pinky finger is a half step away from my second note, then I try to make the third note always be my pinky for ease, and I try to keep my thumb behind the fretboard, directly behind my first or second finger in the scale. Makes it easier. If you can, you want to keep your fingers nice and loose while you're doing all these, and if you can, you want to keep your first finger down so the rest of your tones go easier. Now I'm picking mine up as we go slower just to show you the notes. So anyway, We're on the C Lydian scale, or C Lydian mode now. So that looks like this. And now we move up to the D Mixolydian. And now we move up to E, which is the Aeolian mode, or the minor scale. So that's E is the minor of G. So there we are on that. Looks like this. And finally the F sharp Locrian mode, which is kind of the weirdest sounding of them all, but it's way up here. Looks like this. And that brings us back to the straight mode. Again, this is just a way of putting your scales together so you know how to find your way around the neck. It works for any, those patterns work for any major scale. So if I take the G and I move it up one to A, that means I just took all of my scales and I moved them up to the corresponding frets. So A, B, C, and so on. If I start on C, same thing, same pattern, all the way up the neck. No matter where you move it, just wraps around. Easy stuff. So practice with a metronome, practice often, practice in quarter notes, practice in eighth notes, practice in triplets, and practice it in sixteenths. And you're ready to conquer the world. Good luck.